Welcome to the Traitor, a Traitors podcast. I'm Matthew, a writer working in unscripted TV development, and this podcast is dedicated mainly to English-speaking versions of the TV phenomenon The Traitors from around the world, although occasionally we veer into other strategy reality shows like Genius Game and Million Dollar Secret. Today, though, it's a very exciting podcast because we are about to embark on a brand new series of The Traitors. For the first time, we have The Traitors Ireland, a new version of the format. And I'm going to be diving into episode one, but I'm not doing it alone. I am joined by someone very familiar to the pod and someone who is always very popular with the listeners and has repeated requests to come back on the podcast from Trader fans. It's someone who almost always begins new seasons with me. It's Lindsay.
What up? What up?
Lindsay is a TV and movie buff, a Borderlands expert, a dog mom, and my longtime bestie. Lindsay, how you doing?
I'm good. Tell me, why have you mentioned Borderlands? Like, that's just so random.
Just a thing that you know lots
So
about.
random. Okay, is it because we literally just spoke about it 2 seconds ago?
I actually had it in my notes for you before you even mentioned it. So,
Really?
yeah.
Why you've not
Um,
been pestering me about it then?
yeah. So, Lindsay, how are you feeling about a new series, particularly Traitors Ireland? Are you excited about this one?
A wee bit, a
A
wee
wee
bit, a
bit.
wee bit, a wee bit. I think I've got who I'd like to win so far, but
Okay.
that might change.
I think the
But
Irish
not set in
listeners
stone.
might want you to be like, yeah, I'm more excited about this than any other season ever, not just a wee
So,
bit.
so, so excited. Like, it's gonna be the best season ever, and there's gonna be so much happening, and it's just gonna be amazing.
Thank you. That's what I wanted. And
Fingers
do
crossed.
you feel like, as Scottish people, we've got sort of a connection with Ireland? Like
Oh yeah.
we've got quite a lot in common, I think.
Uh-huh. 100
So
million percent, yeah.
you and I make sense to begin this podcast season. I do have at least one Irish person coming on the podcast later, but for now, Scottish will have to do. And Lindsay, like I said, you get lots of comments every time you appear on an episode. Do you have a
Thank
message
you.
for your loyal fans?
Stay strong, stay strong.
Okay, stay strong.
You kind of put me in a
Um,
position there. I was going to mention Smarties and chocolate, but then that's all that came out, so I have to do
is
it.
that because sometimes when we're recording, you like to secretly eat Smarties and think that I don't notice?
I've got Terry's chocolate orange popping candy beside me, and just to a little tiny bit of iron brew, just being a complete Scottish person.
Okay, that's fine. I've got a different drink, but there's kind of a reveal to my drink, so I'm gonna save it. Well, first of all, I do have my Trader mug, obvs, but I've got something else that I'm saving. It will make sense as we go through the episode, I
You're gonna
promise.
drink Guinness because like you're
I
social now, and you go out and you
Yeah,
like be social.
I've not
Like
quite reached
what?
Guinness though. I don't know if
Right.
Guinness
Okay.
is for me, but
Um.
happy for everyone else who enjoys it.
Okay.
Now, it's time for us to just dive right into episode one of the Traitors Ireland series one, and we are going to recap the action. We're going to analyze the gameplay. We're going to give our thoughts, serious and not so serious. So, Lindsay, are you ready?
Yep.
Here we go. Now, to start with, I'm going to give a bit of a spoiler alert. Lindsay and I probably will make comparisons to other versions of the show, especially the UK, but we're not going to spoil like winners. We won't name who wins other seasons. I think most people listening to this and watching this on YouTube, hello YouTube people, will have seen at least one other version of the show, but you never know. So we'll not spoil particular contestants and how they do, but yeah, we'll probably say, oh, this is like the UK one. This reminds me of this other one. So we're starting with Siobhan McSweeney, our host, straight away. I already loved Siobhan from Derry Girls. I'd seen her
Very
in
girls.
a little part in The Fall, that crime
Mhm.
series with Jamie Dornan and Gillian Anderson. She's in Amandaland, the comedy on BBC One. You've watched Derry Girls, haven't you?
Love Terry Girls, yeah.
Yeah.
Mine she was
Th-
also on Great British Bake Off.
Yes, I
So
do.
funny that.
I've made a wee note about that as well because she's not just she's an actress, but she is also a host as well. I One of my favorite shows, and I'm not kidding, is The Great Pottery Throwdown. Um, it's like Bake Off, but for pottery, and she hosts that. She's done it for the last few seasons, and I'm so sure she got the job hosting that because when she was on Celebrity Bake Off, she was so funny
Oh, comedy gold.
that I think she's the best contestant they've ever had.
Comedy gold.
So, did you know she was the host of this before you watched it?
No, no.
Okay.
It just, well, I follow a couple of like traitor things online, and
Mhm.
I'd only noticed about the Irish one a couple of weeks ago, saying it was going to air in the UK in like October or something.
Yeah,
And I
there
kind of thought, all
were.
right, okay, and then thought, no, I have to watch at least the first episode and see what it's like.
Yeah,
So
there's
only a couple of weeks.
been. Okay. Yeah, there'd be different rumors about it broadcasting on BBC at the same time as Ireland, but that isn't
Yeah,
happening. I'm sure it'll come to the BBC at some point, but I'm super excited about Siobhan. I was very happy that she was chosen as the host. Perfect choice for me. So she's here with her Irish wolfhounds, and I can tell from this opening scene she's going to be quite funny. Like I think she'll be sort of like Claudia Winkleman in the UK one.
yeah,
Like she's an actress, so she can do the serious parts, but I think she's going to make us laugh a lot as well.
yeah,
There are 24 players in this version. It's in this really cool Irish castle. Is it Slane Castle, I think? I think Ireland is it's such a perfect place for a show like The Traitors to be set because I'm saying this in a really positive way, not a negative stereotypical way. Like Ireland's very associated with like myths and fairy tales and the supernatural. So like a show
yeah,
like The Traitors is like it seems perfect to set it in the Irish countryside in a castle. We get some glimpses of some of our players, uh, including I don't even know. Did I send you a picture of this when I was watching it? I think I did. Faye to me is very like Britney Spears.
yeah. She's the Irish
So I was like,
Britney.
oh, Britney's here, Irish
Yeah.
Britney. So she sort of caught my attention straight away. We see a few other people as well. And Siobhan is giving us a voiceover. She's explaining the rules of the game, just in case anyone in Ireland has no idea what this show is.
Mm.
And we get lots of like a montage of what's coming up in the season. Lots of crying, lots of drama, round table accusations. And Siobhan leads us into the main part of the episode by saying, who will live, who will die? This is the traitors.
Ireland.
I'm gonna do Irish accents throughout this,
Go.
and I'm sorry. I'm really sorry to the
Oh,
people of Ireland. I'm not gonna be able to resist.
it's because the
Um,
Irish accent is amazing.
it is, I love it. So the players start arriving. They're in their cars. Faye's here, slash Brittany. There's a player called Diane, who I love instantly because she's reminding me of Diane from UK Traitors. I mean, not really, but she's like seems like a classic like Irish mummy.
Right,
That was
okay.
like Northern Irish. I'm sorry, but I just instantly was like, Diane, I love you. I love you for being on this show. There's a really funny moment with a contestant called Kelly, who's in the back of one of the cars, and she tells this story. It's like not a story. She goes, Harry Styles was playing here a couple of years ago. I was meant to go, but he never went. Like that's the story. I was like, okay. Um, I thought the Irish were a people of storytellers, but maybe Kelly's just she's just warming up.
Mm.
So there's clips of players talking about whether they want to be a faithful or a traitor. And we've got David. He's wondering if people might even lie about their names or their jobs. Cut straight to Eamon, who tells us he is going to lie about his job. He's going to tell them he's a courier, but actually he's. So I misunderstood this. He's part of. He works for the Garda. He's a Garda,
Yeah, please.
which is the Irish police,
Yeah.
which I did know, but I just thought he was saying guard. So I was like, oh, he's a prison guard. But I just was being an idiot.
Yeah.
So he's not going to tell people because he thinks that might turn people against him or make people quite suspicious. This happens a lot in the traitors, people lying about their jobs.
Yeah.
Do you think do you think he's wise to not tell people about what he does?
Yeah, like remember Leanne from last, well, the UK one. She
Yeah,
was like
yeah,
used to be in the army and she
yeah.
kind of showed herself as like a kind of ditzy blonde type thing. But there's another guy in there that's a prison officer or used to be a prison officer, so like that would be like a kindred
Mm,
spirit, maybe. But yeah,
yeah,
each to their own.
yeah. I kind of, I think he's probably watched other versions of the show.
Yeah,
Like, I
he's
think
gonna be
quite a few
good.
of them have. And the fact that he's thought about this makes me think, oh, he's seen other seasons and he's
Hmm.
realized people do judge other people at the round table based on their occupations.
Yep.
So I kind of actually think he's wise to just play it cool and
Yeah.
pretend he delivers parcels all day.
I do think he's gonna
So
be really good though.
yeah, I think he might do well. Yeah.
Hmm.
They all pull up in the cars and they see Siobhan. They're very excited. And at this point, I remembered, Lindsay, you and I used to know someone called Siobhan, but you
Shinobi
only
One
referred
Kenobi.
you only referred to her as Sayoban or Shinobi.
Shinobi
And
One
or Shinobi One
Kenobi.
Kenobi. And I just remembered that at this moment in the episode, and it made me pause and laugh for a little while.
Yeah.
Shout out to Siobhan if you're listening, or whatever you
Shout
would like to
to
be known
any
as.
Siobhan listening
Any
that would
Siobhan.
like to be called Shinobi One Kenobi.
Yeah. Siobhan explains the rules to the players, and they're playing for 50,000 euro. Um, which is, I kind of get it. It's maybe not as much as some other versions of the show.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the US one, they have crazy, like up to $250,000 prize, but Ireland's a smaller country. They probably have smaller budgets in TV, and it's a first season for them. So I get that it's maybe not quite
Going in
as
slow.
much, but I wouldn't like turn my nose up at 50,000 euro. I would be more than happy to win that.
I don't think anybody would, to be fair.
No. Oh, right. I thought you meant I don't think anyone would
50,000
be
euro?
happy.
No. 50,000 euro? No, I'll just leave that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Just as they are about to enter the castle, though, Siobhan stops and tells them first impressions are very important and they're going to have to choose the person who they think is the most trustworthy. So if you've watched other versions of the show, you probably have an idea of what's going to happen. And part of me, because I've watched lots of different versions of the show, US, Canada, New Zealand, Australia, I'm like, oh, okay, they're doing this thing again. I've seen it before. But I get that maybe some people are watching it for the first time. So for them,
Do you
this
not
is new.
like get the actual fear though? Because there was a British one where Claudia was like, the two weakest can go, and they were just gone, like within
Yeah,
seconds. So like,
yeah.
it's PTSD. Sorry, it's PTSD.
Yeah. Straight away, I was like,
If
oh,
I
they're
was a
they're
player, I'd
doing
be
this
like,
again.
no.
Yeah, and I
Uh-huh.
think
Who
again,
plays
some of
Joker?
them, at least some of them have seen the UK version of the show. So they must be also
Yeah,
going, oh man, like they're doing it
yeah.
again. Like some of us are going to go. I think they know what's coming. Um,
I think that's why
they,
they kind of looked a bit panicked though. Did you not see? They kind of scrambled, kind of
yeah,
nobody wanted. Yeah, you know what I mean. And
yeah. They quite quickly choose Andrew, and by they, I mean David. David's just like him. He's really trustworthy, and everyone else is like, okay.
Hmm.
Uh,
Hmm. Hmm.
so he has to come up, but then it continues. Now he's got this job. He's got to choose the three people that he thinks, based on first impressions, are the least trustworthy. So he picks David, lol, straight away because he's like, well, you just picked me, and then he picks John and Gemma. Gemma has like quite an interesting style. It comes up on the screen and tells us that she's an artist and a holistic therapist. And I thought, oh, okay, I can see that. That makes sense. Um, Siobhan then makes Andrew choose two of the three to leave, like you said, right now. So
So
he's suddenly,
long, farewell. It's sad to see you go.
they have to, yeah, you should, like, how do you pick? How do you pick when
Oh
you just
no.
met these people? So
Like,
it,
I
it
don't like how you're dressed. You can go home.
yeah, you look odd.
You look
Um,
like you're not faithful. You can go home.
you look like
Sorry.
you might beat
Yeah,
me up if you
yeah.
stay. So he picks John and Gemma, and they're gone. So off they go. I mean, I'm predicting surely they're
Oh, they're
gonna
gonna come
come
back.
back,
100 million
right? They're gonna
trillion
come
percent.
back.
They're gonna be in a
Um,
church. What's it? Right, that's the prediction. They're gonna be in the church task. They're gonna be sitting in the church.
okay,
Right?
right. You're going
Done.
for church task.
Done. Hmm.
I think they're going to do something they've never done before. I think they're going to be suspended from a bridge over a canyon,
But then we had
and
three
one of them's going to
suspended in.
die if they don't rescue them.
Oh my God. Well,
Okay,
that
maybe
went
not.
dark real quick there. Clearly you don't like John or Gemma. Jeez. What's happened to
I'm
you?
kidding, I'm kidding. I'm sure they'll both be
Out there,
back
universe is out
in one
there.
piece. So off they go. Bye bye, John and Gemma. It's time for the other players to enter the castle. And that's pretty much what you expect, I think. It's really beautiful and all that. They've got lots of antique furniture. It's very traditional, but it's like it's well looked after and there's some nice comfy couches and it looks great on screen. I'm going to take a wee moment for Mark here. Mark seems lovely. He tells us that he's deaf and he had this cochlear implant 18 months ago, he says, and it's like it made this massive difference to what he can hear and what he can do. So Mark seems like he's getting a bit of attention so far. I think he could be an important player. Poor Andrew feels terrible. And we
Does he?
realize he only saved David because they had shared a car together. So they had kind
Mhm.
of like had a little bonding time. So he kind of had a reason to stick with him. And he also realizes something else important that because of what he's just done or been forced to do, like everybody knows his name now. They all know, well, that's the guy Andrew. So that might not be good for him. That might make him an easy target at banishment. I
Hmm.
mean, even by the first round table, which probably going to get to in episode two,
Yeah.
you probably still don't really know everybody, and you don't really know everybody's names perfectly. So if you don't know who to vote for, you might be like, well, I'll just pick Andrew. He's that guy that sent people
Yeah,
home.
because it's like 22 faces just staring at you, and you're just like, so what's happened in the last 24 hours again? Oh,
Yeah,
Andrew.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, do you? I'm going to ask you a really superficial question.
Oh, God, right, go for it.
Do you find anyone quite handsome or attractive so far?
Two of them, actually, yeah.
Okay.
Niall,
Yes.
and I think his name was Mark.
Mark was the one we were just talking about. Oh, is it
Yeah.
Nick?
Oh, Nick, yeah,
I
yeah,
only
yeah,
know this because you mentioned it before we recorded.
yeah, yeah. I was like, I'm gonna have to have the names up because I can't remember all these people. Just because so much
Yeah.
information in my head.
Now, I know this is a very serious podcast where we talk about strategy and tactics and gameplay, but
Mm.
sometimes you just have to say if somebody's good looking. I think that's a nice
I
compliment
also
for the
wanted to
men.
talk about someone.
Okay.
I like Michelle. I like her. She's like a kickboxer and she's got like 8 world championships under her belt. She's totally kick
Michelle,
ass, man.
I've got
I
things
like
to say about
Michelle.
Michelle. I like Michelle too.
Right, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like I like
That's fine.
Michelle. Yeah. I like the cast in general. I'll
Yeah,
talk
there's a
about my
lot of
thoughts at
them
the
that's
end,
like
but
there's a nice bunch.
yeah, really, really good
A nice
casting.
variety in the bunch.
Exactly. Yes, I like Michelle too. So pretty quickly after they've arrived and they've looked around and they've had a chat, it's time for the traitor selection. So they meet Siobhan in a room, they have a little chat, she interviews them asking, what do you want to do with the money? If you win, do you want to be a traitor? Do you want to be a faithful? And there's a mix of responses. It's really funny that so many of them, one after the other, say, I need a deposit for a house. Like,
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
a sign of the times that like
Yeah.
that people are having to come on a game show to be able to afford a house.
Yeah.
Um, so quite a few of them say that.
Do you know
What,
what's
you've got
annoying
something on your
though?
mind? What's
Yeah. When she said, "Would you do you think you'd be good as being a traitor?" And they're like, well, no. Like, surely you would want to be a traitor if you were on the traitors.
well, that's what I think. I would absolutely want to be a traitor. I think you've
Yeah.
got such a better chance of winning. You've got more control over the game. But
Hmm.
I do, yeah, I do get if you think I'm torn.
No,
On one hand, I'm
no,
like, why would you come on the show if you think you wouldn't be very good at it? But I think some people think they would be great like detectives. I think that's why some people want to be in the show because they're like, I can read behavior, I can
that
spot
would be
people
me.
lying. I want to be a faithful
I'd
because I
be
want
a
to catch
totally
them out.
amazing, I'd be
So
an
I
amazing
think
traitor, and then
that's
I'd like crumble within like a day. I'd be gone.
no, no, no. I've got faith in you. No pun intended. So I think that is some people's motivation for being. I think some people are desperate to be the detective faithful, and they're like, I want to be the traitor hunter. I want to prove myself. I'm not good at lying, but I'm good at catching liars. So, like, I don't really identify with that. Like, I want to be a traitor, but I get that not everybody thinks they're going to be a great liar. Um, David points out something really important. When he's talking to Siobhan, he's saying, well, and I've just said this, that being a traitor simply increases your chance of winning because you can't be murdered. If you're faithful, you go to bed every night not knowing if you're going to be murdered unless you've got a shield. The traitors never have to worry about that. They just have to worry about banishment. So already there's an advantage that you've got. Neil, Eamon,
Would you
and
not like,
Poddy, yeah,
sorry, would you not have like really bad anxiety though, being like they're gonna mention me as a traitor?
I
Like,
I
so
think
yeah, you'd
yeah,
be safe, but then you'd be like overly paranoid in case you do something that your name's gonna get flung on the table. But okay, sorry.
yeah,
Go on.
yeah. I think whether you're faithful or a traitor, you've got reasons to be really anxious and
Yeah,
stressed and worried. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
Unless you're incredibly confident. I'm sure some people are just like wildly arrogant and
Incredibly
don't think they've got anything
confident.
to worry about.
Yeah.
Uh, maybe I'm one of those people because if you listen to
Yeah.
the most recent episode of the podcast, I took part in the Traitors Live experience in London, and this is not a spoiler because I'm not on TV. I was chosen as a traitor, and I had a great time. Like I loved
Mhm.
it. I'm not going to tell you if I won or not. You have to listen to the previous podcast to find out. But I was excited more than nervous. I actually did. I was quite relaxed, because I knew I wasn't going to get murdered. And after the first couple of little round tables in our game, nobody was mentioning my name, so I felt like I was
I
kind of getting away
cancelled
with
you
stuff.
all. Yeah.
And other players afterwards were saying, "Oh, my heart was racing all the way through that. God, I can't believe how nervous I was." And I was sort of like, "Can't relate. I was
Chilling.
fine." So maybe I'm a psychopath.
I
Uh,
would just like to say, I said this before we started recording, but just because you brought that up,
okay,
I bought you that cloak,
you
and
did
that
buy me
cloak
this
is getting
cloak.
good use out of it.
This cloak has,
Yes.
because you
Super
bought this
pretty
for
colour.
me before the podcast was visual, it was just audio. And then at the start of this year, we transitioned to YouTube. And so the cloak is perfect.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I wore this to one of the live screenings at the finales before. So
Mhm.
yes, thank you, Lindsay. You're an integral part of the podcast. Uh, so
I'm just gonna
during
brush some dirt
their
off my shoulder.
during their now who's the confident one? During their interviews with Siobhan, Neil, Eamon, and Poddy are among other players who also say they absolutely want to be a traitor. They're here to win and they are happy to lie to do that. They all then gather at the round table. Siobhan arrives. I think she's even in a new outfit at this
Oh,
point. And
fantastic.
yeah, yeah.
Love it.
It's time to put on the blindfolds for the traitor selection. And I thought of something here that I don't even think I've thought about before. This filming this part probably takes like an hour or
Oh,
something
aye,
just to
aye.
pick them. And I'm sure she walks around the table several times because they don't want them to hear anything. They don't want them to be spoiled. I wonder if they play, I would be surprised if they play music into the room to disguise the sound a bit.
Yeah.
Because like I think that would really help disorientate people and you just don't want someone to hear like her tapping someone or jewelry clinking or so to make it like a
Yeah.
soundproof and I imagine they play like sounds or something into the room just to disguise
Like
everything. But
ocean
yes,
waves,
ocean waves. Although that might be too soothing and calm. Maybe like stormy gales blowing
thunder and lightning.
cre thunder like creepy like eerie horror music.
Mm.
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh
Uh,
no, I don't know about
that's my
that.
guess. So she's circling the table, and again, she's an actress. She's really dramatic, and she plays it super theatrically. She's pretending like that she's going to tap someone, and then she backs off a little bit. It's good fun,
Seen
and
that? I was like, oh,
it must be so funny for her to do that when like everyone in the room can't see her. It's just like all the crew, all the camera people must be like trying not to laugh at her, like
yeah.
playing it up and everything. Um, so she circles round, and the first pick is Eamon, and he's super weak. He's like has a big smile. He's very pleased about it. Next one to be chosen is Caitlin. I hadn't really noticed her up until now. I don't think she'd featured. Um, and in fact, I realized at this point. I I felt like it had mostly been men who'd featured so far. Like I knew quite a few of the men's names already, but I didn't really know any of the women yet.
Hmm.
So it made me think just maybe more of the male players are going to be quite important at the start of the game. Like, and actually we do end up with two male traitors, and maybe it means like a man's going to be murdered first or banished first. I don't know. Like, I just
Because I'm
thought they're
men.
probably going to be important. Um, so Caitlin's chosen, and after that, Poddy is third, and that's it. There aren't going to be four or five yet. So we've got three traitors.
Aye.
Before I get to one of my favorite moments of the episode, um, what do you think of this choice of traitors? Eamon, Caitlin, Poddy. Do you think is it a good pick?
I like Poddy. I like Eamon. Don't really know about Caitlin as yet. As you said, we've not really seen much about the ladies, you know.
Yeah, I
We'll
think
find out.
um, I think as I like Caitlin as a choice of traitor because doesn't seem so obvious, and she seems
She
as the
also
episode
seems
goes
really into
on.
it as well.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll be a
Poddy's is
fantastic traitor.
Poddy seems like a fun character to watch. I like
Yeah.
that they've got like an older guy.
Hmm.
Eamon, I'm kind of like, I don't know much about him yet. That I don't know if he's
Yeah,
going to stand out
I
much. I don't
get
know
good
how.
vibes from him. I think he's going to be
Okay,
good.
okay.
I think Poddy's going to be
Um,
good as well, you know.
I'll tell you my predictions at the end about
Okay.
what how the traitors are going to get on. But
God, I've already
uh,
told you my prediction.
no, you've not. No, you've not. You've not. Um, so yeah, that's our traitors chosen, and then this. I watched this about five times repeatedly and just cackled every time when Siobhan goes, "I have chosen my traitors." Michelle just goes, "Jesus," jumps out of her skin. I like filmed that on my phone and sent it to several people and then shared it on the podcast Instagram page. I just thought it was the funniest thing I'd ever seen. Uh, so Michelle, it was yeah, Michelle, well done. She's like she may be the Linda of this season. Um, so they take their blindfolds off and they all almost all do the usual like scanning around the room, having a little look. What's everyone doing?
Oh my
And
God, she looked at the floor.
what? Yeah.
Mm.
What? What do you think you would do? Like, how would you act that moment that you take the blindfold off? What would your tactic be?
I think I could be quite resting bitch face, right? Because like I know that anyway. I think I could pull that off.
Do you
Well,
think
I
that
would
might
like
get you in trouble though?
no,
I think people be like,
I
"Hmm,
would
look at
like to
her."
think I'd pull it off, but my skin would be like, oh my God, she's a traitor. You know, I'd be like resting bitch face with like bright red skin, ready to go. How do you think you'd act?
I would obviously if I was a traitor, I would be trying to act like a faithful. So I'd just trying to be acting like very. I would look around. I would be
Look
looking at
around and
everybody
like
and
be
sort of
like,
like,
I'm looking to see
oh,
what
a bit
everybody's
nervous
reaction is.
and yeah, like wouldn't do what some of the people do here. Like some of them are doing this like, oh, Robert. I just
I've
like
had this
maybe you're
blindfold on for an hour with
yeah, they
soothing
probably
music.
have had it on for an hour, and they probably are like, "Oh my God, I really want to." But I think don't like draw attention to your face. Like, don't be rubbing your eyes and stuff. Just like don't do anything. Just look around. Just have a little look. Have a little smile. Like, I just worry
Hi
that being
guys,
like
hi guys.
this and um
Want a cup of tea now? Yeah, guys,
exactly.
guys, we're good, we're good, we're good. This is fine,
Sorry,
we're
I
good.
actually thought you were talking to someone who walked into your room there. That's why I paused. I was like, I'm
No,
all right.
although both my whippets are like, if you could hear the noise, they're like, oh my God, you're in the dark. What's happening? Where's mum? I need to stick myself to my mum. My legs keep getting licked.
See, your acting was so convincing there. I genuinely was like, oh, she's talking to someone.
No, it's the ghost of my
Well
house
done.
that just likes to
That's
like
the
walk
ghost.
about. The
Okay,
ghost of the
okay.
house, the ghost of the house.
Do you think the Irish castle is haunted?
Oh, it's Ireland.
It's definitely haunted,
Is
right?
that even a question?
Oh yeah, okay, right. So maybe we're going to get some ghost sightings this series.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm excited about that. Yeah, people, like you said, people are picking up already on, or people will pick up on ridiculous things like they took a drink or they looked at the table. I
She
just think
looked at the
don't.
floor for 10 seconds. She's a traitor.
So I think don't give people ammunition. Don't
No,
give people a reason to say something about you. Just play it cool. Um,
smile at
and
me.
yeah, This is where I was going to mention my drink. The glasses they're drinking from. I got very excited. I thought they were the same
Oh.
glasses I have.
Hmm.
They're not quite. I do have. I've showed this on the podcast before.
Hmm.
These are the glasses they use in the UK Traitors. My lovely friend Louise bought these for me. Louise is a big Traitors fan, and this was a prezi last year. So I was very excited to receive them. I still don't know how Louise tracked these down. So I thought these were the ones they had in it. They're very similar. It's not the exact
I'm
same
drinking
ones they've got.
cranberry juice.
I'm drinking diluting juice.
Okay.
That's squash to anyone in England. I don't know what you call it in Ireland, and Americans, I don't even know. I don't know. It's like Crystal
Kool-Aid.
Light. Kool-Aid?
Is it not Kool-Aid?
I don't know.
I don't actually
Um,
think the Americans have like diluting juice. I think it's
yeah,
diluting juice in Ireland as well.
okay.
Maybe.
That's what I have because I don't drink water. I hate water.
Oh,
It's disgusting.
see those weirdos that are like, oh my God, you can taste different with different kinds of water. Like, no, I'll taste. And see the psychopaths that drink fizzy water.
Oh, see, I actually don't mind
Oh,
fizzy water.
oh no, 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 no,
Sorry.
no, no,
Like I
no.
wouldn't really choose it, but I would rather drink that than still would. Sorry. This is
Fizzy
why
water's
Scottish
just like,
people die young. Because
but
I'm like, oh,
we
water.
have the best water in the world. Like the fizzy water's just like carbonate. You're like, there's no taste to it.
I know, but I can
It's like
pretend
drinking
that
air.
it's because it's fizzy. I can pretend like, it's
That's what
fizzy
people keep
soda.
telling me because I'm like, I need to get off fizzy juice.
I know.
You should drink fizzy water. Not a chance, mate.
Fizzy water with some diluting juice, though.
Nope,
I've done that. Okay.
nope.
Anyway,
It ain't happening.
that's my Traitors glass. Uh,
And
so
just so you
it's
know, mine's is from Asda and cost me 50p.
you can't just promote a supermarket on my podcast, Lindsay.
Just so you know, mine's is from a supermarket with a green logo.
It's from a charity shop.
Hashtag not Waitrose. And then it would be like £10.
So I've got our traitors and we head off out into the castle. We break out from the round table. There's a very excited and nervous energy. They all gather in like what seems like a lounge area. They're talking about how they feel, how scary this all is, what they're going to be looking for in other people. And Eamon, who is a traitor, gets very paranoid when Nick just appears behind
Yeah.
them. I mean, Nick, that was a little bit creepy. And just like puts his hand on his shoulder. So Eamon's like, I, I wonder if Eamon thought that Nick was also a traitor, and that
I
was
think he
his
did.
way of being like,
I know you're a traitor too.
hey,
Yeah.
Eamon. Although how Nick would know that about Eamon, I don't know. But yeah, Eamon's just like, is Siobhan back? Like, he just gets it right.
Don't touch me.
Um, but funnily enough, Nick then tells us in his little interview clip that he does think something's going on with Eamon. He says that Eamon's behaving differently. He said earlier on today he was making jokes and he was really fun, loving, outgoing. And now, since they've left that room, he's been a bit more edgy and quiet. So Nick senses the change in Eamon. Maybe that's why he came up to him and like put his hand on him. I don't know. Nina talks about her suspicions of Diane again. She actually did this earlier. Um, so now that like twice already in the episode, this has been mentioned that people are saying there's something a bit sus about Diane.
Because she looks
So I
like a
think
dwarf for 10
if they've
seconds.
shown it, yeah, if they've shown us this twice already, I'm like, is Diane going home? Like, is this them signaling to us she's going to get banished first? Like, I'm worried about Diane, and I'm a
Well,
fan of Diane, so I'm upset about this.
I'm not really a fan that much. The only thing I agreed with was when she walked into the main room and went, I can see myself living here. I was like, me too, Diane, me too.
Yeah, that made me laugh.
Yeah.
We find out a bit more about another person's occupation here, or former occupation. Patrick is a former casino dealer. So he
Mm.
thinks he's quite good at reading people. And Nina says she thinks actually be a good traitor because he was a casino dealer. Um, I wonder if that's a job he should maybe shouldn't have told them that. I don't know. I don't know if it matters that much. It's not that big a deal, but if he's going around saying, "Yeah, I'm really good at reading people," the traitors might pick
But
up on that and be like, "Well,
there's
let's
always
get him
somebody
out."
in every series that says that though. Like
This
they're
is
like,
true.
yeah, I'm not the best person ever.
This is true. There was a oh, yeah, you did watch this season, Australia season 2. There was a psychologist. I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna say her name. She's called Sarah. There, I said it. Sarah was a psychologist. She had short blonde hair and glasses. And all the way through, she was like, I'm great at reading body language because I'm a psychologist. It's what I do for a living. And she never, I don't think this is a spoiler because I can't quite remember. I don't think she one time picked a correct
No,
trait.
no.
So you're right. There, people always claim they're
He
amazing at
also
reading body
sounded like Mr.
language.
J there. I don't know
Mr.
where that
J
accent is.
from Some Heights High. I would love it if
Mr.
Mr.
J, J,
J appeared
J,
in like
J.
a celebrity edition
Oh
of the
my God, that'd be
Traitors
so funny.
and
So funny.
stayed in character the whole time.
Hmm.
So anyway, Michelle and Niall, I knew I was going to come back to Niall. They seem to have bonded quite quickly. So he's like the young teacher. Michelle, we've talked about Michelle, and I think he says like, "Oh, she's like a mum." Like, so they're sitting in a little chair together, which is quite sweet. Um, and Michelle talks to some of the others about. I think this might be quite an important point in the episode. She's telling a bunch of others, "I really wanted to be a traitor. I'm so annoyed I wasn't picked as a traitor." In fact, she says she was disgusted that she isn't a traitor. I think she was kidding. It's quite an extreme word to use.
Mm.
I think other people are gonna. Well, they actually do. Some people are gonna pick up on her saying that.
Yeah,
Like,
she kind of
she
shot herself in
really
the
wanted to be
foot.
a like. Should she have? I don't like. I think there's. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that, but I don't know. I think right at the start, people are looking for any reason to
Yeah,
pick someone out.
yeah,
So if you're that just might be the reason that people are like, well, I don't know who to pick, but she said she was desperate to be a traitor, and I don't trust her for that. So I
yeah.
don't know.
She could be bluffing.
She could exactly could be like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's time for the mission of the ep, and here uh, Niall does a wee bit of narration, and I realise that Niall is actually, I think, he's Northern Irish, and he says, right, Northern Irish accent. How do I do it? I had Nadine Coyle. How does she talk?
Or
We land at a distillery, so we do. He does this a few times where he finishes sentences with so we do.
so we do.
Me and Michelle are really getting on, so we are. So I was like, Niall, I think he's Northern Irish, unless he's just he lives near the border and his accent's different, but that's what I'm picking up on. And I love Siobhan for wearing a cardigan and then a big frilly Elizabethan collar.
Yeah,
It's so
so
funny.
fashionable. So fashionable.
Maybe I should get that for like later in this season. I should get a frilly collar and wear it with my cloak. Right, Amazon, or other website that's not Amazon. Um, so for the mission, here's what they're going to do. They've got 30 minutes. There is €6,000 up for grabs, and there are barrels dotted around the woods. It's a fairly straightforward like, physical challenge. It's not like mental gameplay and secrets and twists and turns. Like it's just get some barrels, bring them back to the distillery. The bigger the barrel, the more money
I
it's
think it's
worth.
a little bit unfair having a contestant that's had two hip replacements having to do that though.
Oh, who was that? Was
Uh, I
it one of the
think it's
men?
yeah, I think it might be
Uh,
Purdy. I think so. Yeah.
oh, it could be Poddy or Patrick. Because there's like a
Yeah.
really comedic moment of Patrick.
He's such a wee sin.
Like
And he's like
everyone's,
walking really, he's like trying to run really fast, but it's just like he's doing a fast walk. And
oh
everybody's like,
no.
choom, 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 choom.
Yeah.
Like, you
Like
know.
Ben is like the star of the mission. He's like ex-military and everyone's like, "Oh my God, he's amazing." And then there's little clips of them all going, "Yeah, Ben was great. Ben was great in this mission. He really helped us out." And then Patrick goes, "I did a fine job." And we just see him like so God love him. And before they even start the mission, I should have said, Siobhan reminds them again that before sorry, the traitors will meet tonight and they will murder someone even before there's a banishment. So they're all kind of on age and maybe want to prove why they should, like maybe if they're going to be amazing at the missions, that might convince the traitors not to murder them yet. I've got a thought about that, but I'll keep it. The there's not that much to say about the mission, right? They're pushing barrels round and they're sweating and they're shouting and running about. But I do notice like the amount of swearing is so funny.
Oh,
Like
love it.
I think in the
Although,
UK one, they're probably told like, look,
yeah,
try
hold it
not to
back,
swear
hold
on
it back.
camera if you
Yeah,
can. But here they're just like, fuck this, it's fucking heavy. Like I'm fuck. Yeah.
I love it.
Uh, uh,
But good thing though, like
yes.
the Irish really, really like the C word, and I'm glad that
Oh.
wasn't used. Um,
Quite like Scottish people.
yeah, like this is totally off. Do you know who Garen Noon is?
No.
So he's from Mayo, and he's like
Okay.
musician, but he does like videos. And oh my God, he's so funny. And he uses the C word all the time. And that's the
Okay.
only time that's funny is when Garen uses it. I was happy when I've used it. But yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. I'm sure they were told, like, you can swear, but, you know,
Can you
don't go too
imagine if it
far.
was an all Scottish one? Oh my God. The
Beep,
F every second
beep,
word now.
beep, beep. Yeah. After lots of swearing and funny swearing and sweating and shouting and running, they all make it back in time. Hooray! And they bank €4,800, uh, which is not that much of a surprise. Like, they're probably going to do well in the first mission. They head back in the cars to the castle, and two of the traitors are already potentially in trouble. Nick and Mark are having a chat in their car, and they point out that Poddy was very quiet after the selection, and they say that he took a drink and he wasn't really looking around the table. And they
I
mention
know.
Eamon again. They say that Eamon's acting a bit differently. So already, now this might be a total red herring. Like maybe different people in different cars are all naming different people and being like, I think this person's a traitor. I think maybe they've just shown us this moment.
Hmm.
But I don't know. Two people in one car are both saying the same thing.
Yeah.
That's not a great sign, I think. Back to the castle then, and they are very excited about their cups of tea, which
Yes.
Siobhan did promise them. I
Yes.
get that. I love a cup of
Yes.
tea.
Same. Same. Same.
And then this is like the shock of the episode that I think you and I both were like,
Yeah. Like
Poddy and
what?
Andrew escape in a little room together where no one else is. And Poddy's saying to Andrew, he's like congratulating him. And he's going, oh, that was really tough what you had to do at the start. And then they start hugging. And I'm like, I was like, does Poddy think he's a traitor and he's about to like out himself?
I
But then
thought it
Poddy
was.
tells us, I got to speak to my son, Andrew.
Hmm.
It's a secret father son. And they didn't even know the other was in it.
Yeah,
It's
they're
not
not
like they're like, oh, thank
private.
God we've got Timmy. So, like, sorry, a moth literally just flew past me. Maybe it was some sort of like Irish wood spirit.
Maybe.
Is that a thing? I don't know. So yeah, Andrew says when they got out the cars, he had to do a double take. And when he saw his dad, but just had to like act like, it wasn't his
Mhm.
dad. And then they even show us a clip of him going up to him earlier and saying, oh, what was your name again? So, so this happens in lots of seasons of Traitors. We've got like secret relatives or whatever, but I don't know if I've ever seen it like this where they don't know the other one's going to be
Yeah.
there. So I like that.
Yeah.
And I guess they could have tried to keep it from us for longer, but I don't know. If
The
they
thing
had
is,
that
it's
little
that
moment together,
that question again of would they tell each other one's a traitor and one's not?
well, you
Or
mean yeah, yeah,
like some sort of secret language of yes, I'm a traitor.
well, yeah, yeah.
You'll be safe until the end. Like, yeah.
That's a
I
really
do
good
like it
point.
though.
Yeah, I want. Yeah, if you and I were going on to the Traitors, we'd been cast. We could
I
make
would
some
need to
codes.
tell you. I would need to tell you. There is absolutely no way I would be able to keep that secret.
I don't
But
know.
we've got secret um codes anyway.
Yeah,
So like if if we're uncomfortable in a situation, the two of us blink a lot, like Matthew is right now, probably telling me to shut up. Like we blink a lot, or we like push
no,
each other's leg like really tight to each other, so the other one knows that they're uncomfortable. We'd have to do something like that. I'd need to
yeah,
tell you, and
yeah.
I'd be fuming if you never told me.
I think I could get away with it and lie to you.
I'd be fuming.
Sorry.
I'd be like,
But yeah,
yes.
we could agree beforehand, like, right, if I'm a traitor, I'm going to use the word Orangina in a sentence. And if you hear me say that, you know what it means.
Yeah.
And so I don't know how they get around that other than like just warn them, like, if you've got a secret code and we find you out, we're going to sue you for thousands of pounds and you won't win any prize money. And you might be like,
Yeah.
okay, I won't do it.
Like just kick me out. Come on.
So Andrew tells Poddy, by the way, Dad, a lot of people are saying your name already. And I'd wonder if Andrew suspects his dad, but he doesn't actually ask him. They just kind of leave
Yeah.
the room quite quickly, and then we see Andrew saying, like, God, I didn't even ask my dad if he was a traitor. Like, I just kind of didn't think to actually ask. I
Assumed that he
just
wasn't.
assumed he was
Yeah.
a faithful.
Which
Um,
then leads you to believe that they're not told to say, don't say I'm a traitor. If he said, I didn't even ask him. Maybe?
what do you mean?
Like, so the producers are not going to contestants and saying, you're not allowed to tell someone you're a traitor. Only the traitors can talk to each other or whatever. But with him saying, I never even asked, it makes you think, so they could have said that?
No, he could have asked, but
Yeah.
Poddy would have absolutely had to deny it. So
Oh, right, okay.
and when they do their oath, they go and meet Siobhan. They
Oh,
swear they
yeah.
are not allowed to ever
Yeah.
reveal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
You
think
got me, you got me.
they'll sign like
Waivers and
basically
stuff.
contracts saying I'm not going to ruin this game if I get chosen as a traitor. I'm not going to tell anyone
That
because
should
it would
just
just
never
ruin the
apply
whole
then.
TV show. So it's pretty soon after this. It's midnight. We do see David take a last chance before bed to name Diane and Vanessa. Like he's really desperate to say, before I
I
go,
think he's going
here's
to
the
be
two
good as
people I
well.
think. I'm gonna be honest. Uh, I don't know who Vanessa is yet. I was
Yeah.
kind of like, Vanessa,
Would it? Would
sorry,
it? Would it?
Vanessa.
Yeah, I don't.
Uh,
Yeah. There's quite a few of them.
so she's just not been given much screen time yet,
No.
so it's not my fault. Okay,
No.
I know who Diana is because obs. Um, it's nighttime then, and the players all leave in their cars to their lodgings. So they're doing it like the UK. They're not pretending that they sleep in the castle. They're going to tell us, yeah, they don't stay here. They go off in their cars one by one, and the traitors are going to meet to discuss their first murder. So here Siobhan meets them one by one. They take their oath. They swear they're gonna murder someone every night, and they're not going to tell anyone that they're a traitor, and they're not going to tell anyone about who the other traitors are, and so on. Caitlin and Eamon are the first to arrive in the turret, and I always just love these moments when they take the hood off and they find out who the other person is. So they reveal themselves, they're both shocked, but she does tell him, oh, Nick has mentioned your name, he's been
Yeah.
putting your name out there. But Eamon says to her, I don't think anyone suspects you. So she seems to be doing really well so far. Poddy arrives next,
I think they're going to
reveals
work good as a team.
himself. I think so, yeah. I get the
hmm
impression they'll get on quite well, at least in the
You
beginning.
know.
Who knows what will happen? But yeah, I think they're probably going to approach it like a team and work together. And um, Poddy says that yeah, he's happy with the other two. He didn't suspect them at all, and they quickly discuss. Like they really quickly start talking about the other players, and they say, "Well,
hmm
Diane seems to be like a prime suspect. Lots of people are naming her. We should definitely keep her around because she might get banished rather than us. That's great." And then they start to talk about who might be their first murder victim. So I'll go through the names they've mentioned. They talk about Michelle, and it is a little bit confusing, but they say, oh, she said she really wanted to be a traitor and she's gutted about it. And but they say people seem to have believed that. In other words, people seem to think she's a faithful.
hmm
So maybe we should just murder her. Because, like, what's the point in keeping her around
Bloody
if
better
nobody
not.
thinks she's a. Oh, I don't know. Next, they talk about David. And they say, well, he's really popular. One of them says that he's stirring the pot big time. So if he's like a natural group leader, that's not good. They don't want people like that.
Mm,
And they think if they murder him, it might put suspicion on Andrew as the traitor because like David nominated Andrew at the start of the game and almost got him kicked out and stuff. And then they talk about Andrew himself, and they say, well, Andrew's really, he seems like a sweetheart. They're like, nobody's ever going to think he's a traitor. He's really lovely. So he's not going to get banished. Maybe we
hmm
just murder him. Obviously, Poddy's listening to this like, that's my son, but I don't want to say anything. Um, the same goes for Mark. They talk a bit about Mark, and they say, yeah, he seems lovely. Everyone seems to like him. Maybe we just get rid of him. We don't want nice people that everybody likes. We want people that people might vote for in the round table. So they chat a little bit about maybe they should keep people who are good at missions. Uh, I
Which
I
makes
don't
sense.
I get
What?
it. I don't think that's that important because here's why I'm saying that. Because I think in this show they almost always pass the missions. Like they almost always win them. Like very rarely do they fail a mission. So I kind of think
Yeah,
you're gonna win money no matter what. Like, it doesn't really depend on you having amazing people at the missions. Like you
but
probably
if
still
they're
pass
gonna
the
put
missions.
down €50,000 on a deposit for a house,
Hmm. I
and
guess you want the full amount.
Lindsay's gonna do the tasks half-arsed, and Matthew's gonna be like bossing it. They're gonna get rid of Lindsay. You're gonna want
I
somebody
guess
that's gonna
so.
make you as much money
Sure.
as possible.
Sure, yeah. If somebody's just useless, you might be like, right, they're just not contributing to the team, and
Yeah.
that's very frustrating. Okay, I can see that. Siobhan then arrives at the turret and makes them write down their choice. And that's quite different from other versions I've seen. Normally, the host doesn't come along. Like,
Mhm.
sometimes the host appears and they're like, oh my God, Siobhan's here. But I feel like she's going to come every episode,
Yeah.
which, like, I quite like that. I think it's cool that she comes in and is like, have you chosen? Write their name down. I'm going to deliver this to them. Um, and we're almost at the end of the episode. They're making the decision, and while they're doing that, we keep cutting to shots of the creepy hooded figures with the masks round the
Yeah.
castle. And right, stick with me here. I've got a theory.
Okay.
Every time I watch the traitors, and they've always got people in hoods and masks, I do always think, who are they supposed to be? Like, who? What are they? Why are they? Like, what are we meant to believe they are?
They're traitors walking around a castle, but not
So they're
actual
like,
traitors.
yeah, so they're like extra traitors? Are they like,
Yeah.
this is, I know,
Maybe
yeah, this
it's
is,
maybe it's so cast members, if by accident you see the traitors, if it's a different shape, like,
you
oh,
might, yeah,
that's not Eamon.
I
That's
know, yeah, I
Susie
know what you
from down the
mean.
road, you know?
Although, I'm sure they film all these bits with these figures when no one's around. No, the
Yeah.
faithful are never going to see them. And they're all off in their cars back to their hotel or whatever.
Maybe it's
I,
to keep the viewer enticed.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, I'm not complaining about it, but
No.
this is the first time I thought, oh, wait a minute, are they meant to be like minions of the traitors who actually carry out the murders? Like, is that why they're showing us them, like, waiting?
Oh,
Like, are they waiting for their orders to now go and murder someone?
I was actually
Is that what
thinking as
it is?
well, right? See, if you have to wait till midnight and then
Yeah.
everybody goes to their room or whatever,
Hmm.
and there's like 22 players and you're waiting for person to go, da, 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 and then you have to wait because you're a traitor and then come back. What time are you getting to your bed?
Oh, yeah, it's like 4 in the morning or something. They are so sleep deprived.
And then they go back to their wee room, they sleep, and then they get up, and then they have to wait for everybody to get ready to then go to the
Yeah,
room to get breakfast. It's like,
it's really grueling filming process, especially if you're a traitor. A lot
yeah.
of contestants from other seasons have talked about this in
Hmm.
interviews saying, yeah, we're up till 3, 4 in the morning. You're exhausted at breakfast and you're trying to I mean everybody's a bit tired, but you have to try extra hard as a traitor to not appear like you've been
Yeah.
up till 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
And it probably like adds to the paranoia and like you're a bit on edge because you're not sleeping properly. And yeah, I'm sure it's like quite a torturous process. So they make their murder decision, and the episode ends here. So,
Okay, okay.
Lindsay, who do you predict is going to be our first murder victim of Traitors Ireland season one? It looks like the
Diane.
possibilities are either, I've forgotten already, Andrew or Mark or David or Michelle. Those are the ones they talk about.
I don't think Andrew's gonna go. I think that his da will probably keep him in for a while. Uh, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, you don't think Andrew?
I don't think Andrew. I think he's definitely safe. Maybe Mark. Maybe
Okay.
Mark. Maybe Mark.
Yeah.
Do you think so too?
I I went between two. First, I wrote down Mark.
Hmm.
And they talked about him sitting. They were like, "Oh God, that'd be so brutal if we can't do that to him." But maybe they'll just be like, "Oh, do you know what? I'm gonna have to get rid of him at some point, and it's gonna
Yeah.
shock everyone. Let's just do it."
I
So
think
it
as
could
well
be
because
him.
his name hasn't really been mentioned
Hmm.
as either or, and he
Yeah.
seems to kind of be getting on with everybody. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's maybe a low blow.
Yeah.
No.
Right. You're going Mark. I'm gonna go with David. I wonder if they'll just think he's quite popular. He's quite outspoken. if he catches on to one of us, he's going to be like a ringleader and get everyone all whipped up. Let's just cut him. So I think they might just get rid of the person who's throwing lots of names out.
Okay. So who do you
Okay.
think is going to win?
Whoa, what? You're whoa. That's
I'll now be taking control of the podcast. Matthew, who do you think is going to win?
that's you want me to name a player now who I think is going to win?
Yes.
Okay, Caitlin. I think she out of these three traitors, she's going to get the furthest. I think she's the least likely. She seems quite sweet and friendly and innocent. Don't you think she's on anyone's radar? So I think she will do. I think she will go the furthest out of these three traitors,
Okay, okay.
and I'll call her as a winner now. What do you think, Michelle?
Uh, I think Michelle or David. That's why I'm like, he better not go because I think he's quite good. Or
Okay,
maybe Irish Brittany. Maybe Faye.
Faye, Irish Brittany. Okay, yeah, yeah.
Just blonde
Uh,
bombshell. Pow, pow.
who do you, or some quiet faithful who we haven't even got to know yet, and at the end we're like, oh, how did they win?
There's a lot of the ladies that haven't been mentioned. I'm quite surprised you've not mentioned Nina and all her bright colourness.
Oh yeah, Nina, I did. I was drawn to the brightness. Yeah,
Yep,
she
yep,
could be quite interesting.
yep.
Um, who do you think is going to be banished first? So we've got a round table coming up in episode 2. Who are they all voting for? Who's gone?
Eamon came into my head straight away there, and I really don't want it
Mm,
to be.
okay, okay,
I think Eamon. I really hope
okay,
it's not, because I think he's going to be quite good. I think he's going to be quite entertaining. But Eamon's just popped out of my head, and I'm going to go with that.
okay. I don't want it to be this person, but I think it could be Diane. I think her name's been mentioned a couple of
Hmm.
times. That's not a good sign. And the traitors might be like, well, people are talking about her. Let's just jump on
She's
the
an easy
bandwagon.
target. Yeah,
She's
she's
an
an
easy
easy
target.
target.
Get the attention of us. So, Murder David,
I want to go
banish
Diane as
Diane.
well. I want to go banish Diane as well.
Well, you
Can I
said
change my
amen.
answer? No,
You
I
said
want to change my
amen.
answer. I want to change my
Okay, this one time I'll
answer.
let you change. Fine.
Yes.
I am going to briefly mention Uncloaked. So they are doing the Traitors Uncloaked on RTE as well. So it's the sort of spin-off side show. It's a visual podcast. There's not much. I watched the first episode. There's, because there's no murder or banishment yet, they don't have a lot to talk about, and they can't
Yeah.
invite any of the contestants on. So it's just a few comedians having a bit of chat about their first impressions, and it's just all the usual questions. Would you rather be a traitor or a faithful? Who made you laugh? So it's kind of more like a comedy panel show than like a real let's get into the game. Oh my, what were
Yeah.
we shocked at? So it's fine. And if you, I don't know the comedians on it. If you know the comedians, maybe you'll have fun watching it. But I'm looking forward to hopefully later as the season goes on in Uncloaked, they'll show us the eliminated players finding out the truth. But the moment
Behind the
when they find out
scenes.
who really are the traitors, and you get that exciting moment.
Yeah.
So I will watch those. Lindsay.
Yes.
Overall thoughts. What do you think of episode 1? Do you think it was a good episode? Do you think it's going to be a good season?
I think it's going to be a good season,
Okay.
but I'm not going to say it was a good episode purely
Oh.
because there is a lot of contestants that we don't know about yet.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think as the episodes go on and we get to know these people, I think it's going to be more spicy.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I really enjoyed the first episode. I had really good fun watching it. It does all the good stuff that The Traitors does well. It's got a great mixed cast, like a good mix of ages, different types of people. It's not full of like content creators, and I'm not
Oh
slagging off
no.
content creators. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I just don't want like a whole cast of like
Yeah.
22-year-olds who make YouTube videos. So I like that they seem like
It's a
ordinary
good it's
people.
a good bunch. It's a good
Yeah,
mix. Yeah.
yeah, and they seem to be getting on quite well. I mean, that won't last, but it's good to you do want that as well. I think you
I
don't want to
can't
hate
wait for
everyone.
the Oh no, I can't wait for the Irish feistiness to come out.
Yeah, yeah,
I think
definitely.
that's gonna be quite entertaining.
Yes. I am loving Siobhan as I knew I would. I'd be really surprised if she messed it up and she didn't
Oh,
deliver.
she won't.
And it just feels quite. I know I said they seem like ordinary people, but the whole show is not trying to be like super glamorous like the USA version with
Yeah.
celebrities who are earning like $100,000 just for coming on the
No.
show. It's ordinary people. They seem really down to earth. They're funny. Like I was laughing at the
They're
things that they were
relatable.
saying. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So, in amongst all the chaos and the drama, we're going to have some silly moments and fun people that we can relate to, I think. So, it's a thumbs up from me. Now, we are almost at the end of the podcast. Not quite yet. There's one very important thing to conclude with before we get
Very
there.
important. Mhm.
Very important.
Very important, Lord Voldemort.
You're making me sound like Voldemort.
Sorry, I'm not making you do anything.
Um,
I mean, you have got a green cloak on.
oh God, that's Kevin Slytherin.
And you've got a
Lindsay.
prefect badge on. Yep.
God, yeah, it's a shield. It's a
I
traitor
know. I
shield.
know. I know.
Um, if people want to find you and follow you and DM you and tell you how amazing you were on the podcast, as always happens, where can they find you on social media?
Well, I don't do TikTok because, right, I downloaded TikTok and it kept suggesting that I buy toilet roll in bulk.
Oh yeah,
So I promptly deleted that app. But I use Instagram. So if you message me or if you follow me, I'll follow back. I will reply back. And my tag is at Chisarella.
at Chisarella.
Yeah.
And I'll put that in the episode description so you can find Lindsay very easily. Here's some other things that are going to be in the episode description to make sure that you're up to date with the podcast and the Traitors Ireland and other seasons of the Traitors and any other shows that we end up covering on the podcast. You can follow on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at the Traitors Podcast. And you can leave comments on all of those places and you can leave messages for me, but you can also talk to other listeners and find out what they're thinking of the episodes. You can also email me at thetradarpodcast@gmail.com, or you can do with lots of lovely listeners did in the last UK season. You can leave a voice message, which means you will be on the podcast yourself. You can send in, it's like a wee voice note on WhatsApp, and it's super easy to do. You can visit memo.fm/ the Trader Podcast. Super duper easy. You press record and you say, "Hi, Matthew. Here's what I think about this episode." Send a question, send a thought, send something I missed, send something outrageous that I've said that you totally disagree with. Especially Irish people. Again, I apologize for the fake Irish accent that I have done on this
It's just because
podcast. Please
it's such
forgive
a
me.
beautiful accent. So
It
beautiful.
is. It is. So beautiful, like the chorus.
Oh, I knew you were going to
Very,
say
very,
that.
so beautiful.
So beautiful. So
Um, Anyone of our age will know why we're doing that.
yeah.
It's also really helpful to subscribe and follow and leave a nice review on whatever platform you're using, whether it's Spotify or Apple Podcasts or Castbox or YouTube or whatever. And finally, if you've been listening and enjoying and you want to help the podcast keep going because it does cost money to run, it would be really great if you could visit the coffee page for the podcast. That is ko-fi.com/Matthew Keeley, and you can put in a wee one-off donation. You don't, it's not Patreon, you're not subscribing to anything. That option is there, and Angus and Alice have actually subscribed, and every month they send a donation, which is really, really kind. But you can put in a one-off, like €2 and leave it at that if you want to. Or you could just follow and subscribe and share the podcast and let other people find it. Now, I said there was one important thing I was holding on for. Lindsay,
Yeah.
since you look very nervous, if I was there in person, I would touch you on the shoulder here.
Ew. Okay.
Uh, since you enjoyed episode one
Uh-huh.
and you're looking forward to the rest of the series and you're more popular on the podcast than I am with my own listeners, will you come back later on the season to join me
Yeah,
again?
of course. Of course.
I've trapped you.
I've
I've
told you
trapped
this
you.
before. You don't need to ask me. I'm my best friend. You know I'm gonna do it. So yeah,
Okay.
I'll I'll totally come.
I'll see you for episodes 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Not that
Okay.
many. Not that
Okay.
many. Only
Okay.
even numbers. Only even numbers. Although we have started
Okay.
on one.
That's true.
From four. From four.
Okay. Lindsay will be back, and as well as Lindsay, we've got some other co-hosts lined up. Some of them you'll be familiar with from the podcast before. There may even be one or two new co-hosts joining me for this season. Lindsay, thank you so much for today.
Although
Uh,
hashtag I'm the best.
and now cancelling your appearance on the podcast.
Rude.
I'll be back to record the next episode in about 24 hours with one of these returning co-hosts that faithful listeners will know really well. Until then, send me all your thoughts and questions and keep us on your radar. Bye bye.
Bye.